Welcome back to the Big Ten Media Days here on Softball America. Now it is time for Illinois softball, and I am fortunate enough to be joined alongside Paige Berkmeyer and Lauren Wiles, who have done it all really in the Illinois softball uniform. Both of you entering your last season have held it down offensively at the mound. First of all, welcome, ladies. I should start with that. Thank you for joining me. How is the excitement heading into your last season been feeling? Paige, we could start with you.
Yeah, it's been great coming into the last season, senior season. It flies by. People tell you all the time, like, enjoy it, enjoy the moments, and you don't realize it till you're actually here. But we're super excited. We have a young team, and we're really excited to get on the field and get started.
Lauren?
Yeah, I can second that. I'm super excited to get ready playing and everything. We have like a whole new team this year, and they've been so fun. I really like this team, and I'm super excited to take the field with them. And I think it's just like team culture to be around, get to experience all this one.
Let's talk about this team that you guys have, because I know we were discussing beforehand, but you guys are bringing in 10 incoming first-year players, 3 transfers. What has that been like? I'm not even talking softball wise. We're going to get into that. But just as a team culture, so many new personalities, so many new names to learn, people to learn. What has that experience been like for you guys all fall and winter so far? Starting with you, Lauren.
It's definitely been interesting. I feel like my first 2 years, we kind of had the same team. And then last year we didn't add a bunch of new people. So this year was like, holy crap, how do we even help everyone? And then they all have their own personalities. The fresh, full of energy, but I think it's just what this team needs. I like to say they're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to just play college softball. So it's been really fun having them around. Definitely an adjustment with all the new people. But we've got some good transfers that bring a lot of talent, and then just having those young people that are just so ready to compete has been really good. I think keeping softball and practice light, but like doing our job, but not, no one gets bogged down because they're always there. They've been really great to have around.
Yeah, the freshmen, they're a hoot. There's a lot of personalities, and they vary from quiet to like very loud and fun and out there. And it's just been a great experience, like coming into senior year, having almost a new team and just getting to see like different perspectives and learn different people's like backgrounds and get to know everyone. It's just awesome to see their skill set too on the field. But yeah, team bonding's been a lot of fun. I mean, we have a different experience and different things to talk about every single day. A new memory comes up. We got more inside jokes than we can count. And it's just been so fun.
Talk to me about what that team bonding has looked like, because that's one thing that I always bring up as a former player is most of the time the chemistry, it's off the field and it's coming in fall, it's coming in winter or the bus rides during season, and it only gets showcased then by good softball on the field. What have you guys been doing in those team bonding moments? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Paige.
so we actually do a whole team bonding event in the fall, usually every year. And this year was a lot different than our past years. In our past years, we went like paintballing and stuff like that. So it was really fun. But this year we went and we actually climbed up what we called a courage pole. And it was like a telephone pole. Like I think it was 30 foot in the air. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lauren, but
I think it was like
40. Yeah. You had a harness on, so you were safe and everything. And you had to climb up it and you had to say like what you want the courage to do. Like I think I said I want the courage to be vulnerable, and you jump off. And it was just a great experience because you'll never forget that with your teammates being that high up in the air, jumping off a telephone pole. And it was amazing team bonding because at first you get there, you're like, are we actually doing this right now? But yeah, it was fun jumping off and like just seeing everybody, like, because we were doing it also as a competition because we're athletes, and so
Everything's a competition.
100%. So we had to like do it under a certain time, and so we were all like cheering each other on, motivating each other, and I think that was like the first thing that really like brought us all together and showed us like, hey, like we all can do this. We just need each other.
That is absolutely incredible. And Lauren, I would love to hear that from your experience. And also, I have to ask quickly to both of you ladies, was anybody scared of heights? Like, that's the first thing that came to my mind of like who had to really work through, talk about being vulnerable, but some like, weaknesses they have and being scared of that. Lauren, how was that experience like for you?
I think building those, it just involves a lot of vulnerability. And this was like week 2 or 3 of school. So we all are that much. And then it's like, okay, go jump off this 40-foot pole and tell all your 26 teammates out. So I think it just put on display a lot of each other's. And then those people that were afraid of heights, I mean, they really had some, I guess, internal battles. And I wasn't afraid of heights, but when I got top of that pole, I was like, I might have unlocked a new fear. But I think just showing that vulnerability, and it's something that we all had to do. So we all got to see each other in like a vulnerable-ish state. And I think we also got to push people who had a little bit of a fear of heights, and how can we help them overcome this? I think that just started off everything on a good playground of like, okay, there's going to be times, as a team that somebody's got to, maybe work a little harder to do this, and encourage them to be the best they can related to softball. But I think that all kind of brought us together, and that's been a lot of our memory jokes too. It's like, remember when when you got on that pole and your legs were shaking, just like stuff like that. So it definitely, I think, just started us off on a good note.
That's an incredible team moment. One, to kind of conquer those fears, like you said, or new fears, because I'm not scared of heights, but I probably would have been if I'd had to climb a 40-foot pole. But I feel like in that moment, Paige, you mentioned yours, but to hear everybody say what they wanted to have the courage to do, one, it's like you know this person a little bit better, but two, you can now help them like hold them accountable in a way. And if you notice that shift within your team after that moment of just feeling even closer for both of you, starting with you, Lauren.
Um, yeah, I think it's just I know some teams in the past did this, so I think this older girls like we have an inkling that this is gonna come. This is gonna come before we're out of here. Um, so I think, like Paige said, just having the courage to even say what you're courageous about is sometimes not something people want to share, especially people you don't maybe know, and you're kind of just like, okay,
Mhm.
I want to have the courage to be myself, but now I'm worried about what these people are gonna think about me just for saying that. So I think, the next person going, and then you see wants to be more courageous about the same thing that I want to be more courageous about, and it kind of helps you feel like, okay, we all have a lot more in common than we may even know about each other. So I think it just really does a good job of just well, you don't even know.
Yeah, that is incredible. I absolutely love that. Switching to the softball side of it, because it's kind of fun to have a battery pack in here. Paige, obviously, you've been behind the dish so long now, just being such a consistent role player within that. Lauren, you were getting innings from the moment you stepped on campus for the very first time and have continued to do so now with three big seasons really of innings. What's kind of exciting for your team this year when I look at them is you have so many different arms. Like you have a very deep staff now. And as much as, every pitcher loves innings, Lauren, that has to be exciting for you too, to now really be specific with matchups and know that, your buddy could help you out here and then you could go into the game and help somebody there. I want to know specifically pitcher to pitcher how that has been exciting for you throwing alongside so many arms this fall?
I different in a way because each year we've had a little bit of a different of how many pitchers we have, and like this year it's a lot of pitchers that I played with, so it's kind of just like know each other, and then you know each other's good at, and me and Coach Perry had a conversation like summertime before we started even practicing. So great because this is not, it doesn't have to be all on one person. We all have things that we're good at in different ways. We even have people that are good at the same thing, but in a different way, if that makes sense. So I think it's truly us all being so different really makes it feel as of like, okay, we're all in this together and we all have different strengths to bring to the table. And Coach V always likes us to, think about, okay, if so and so for success before I go in, like what about them and what they did helps me be successful in this situation. So I think it kind of, for me personally, it brings a lot of just like, okay, like we're gonna be okay. We can all together with our skill set have, be great. So I think it's been nice having next to.
And kind of going off of that for what you've been working in this off season, I know you mentioned Coach V. It's been highly spoken of how well you guys have been working with one another, gaining even more speed and just consistency in your release. What has the off season looked like for that and just training? Like what has been clicking for you? What are things that have been really successful in your game you feel like you've helped grow?
Um, this isn't a not known thing, but this is my first year in 4 years of having the same pitching coach. So like I've had a new coach every year except this one. So I think it's been good not having to get over that awkward hump of like, I don't know you, you don't know me, like I don't know your personality. So I think coach has a lot of experience and have some similarities, especially in like how we compete and everything. So I think she's a great resource for me to just ask questions and ask her. And she's always someone that meets her just because she knows that's kind of how I like operate through things. But one thing that she has really helped me with is just developing and understanding pitching and how that works for me. And I think just having her for a second year and just being able to continue building off what she taught me last year has allowed me to just like forward and just keep growing and getting better every day and just understand like, hey, like one little step forward is an accomplishment from like, where you used to be. So I think, she's been a great resource as far as like development and everything for me.
I love that. And for Paige, you obviously have the best seat in the house behind there at the dish. For not only Lauren, but all of these arms, how are you learning them, mastering them, understanding what each pitcher needs to hear before game day starts?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part about catching is everybody's different. Everybody has different tendencies, and I have to figure that out as a catcher. All of us do. And the one thing that I know Coach B's mentioned to all the catchers is building a relationship, um, building a personal relationship. Like Lauren and I have a very good relationship. I've been catching her for 4 years. So I know what she needs on the mound when she gives up a home run or she gets a strikeout. I know what she needs. But just like what I've been doing is trying to get to know everybody better. We got Megan. She loves to laugh, and I know I can get Megan to laugh on the mound as soon as I step out there. So it's figuring out what they need from me because I'm there for them, and all of our catchers are trying to figure it out because we have new catchers too. So we're trying to get them in on the loop and like understanding tendencies and everything, and getting them to understand personal relationships as well.
Because not only are you developing your pitchers, but you're developing people who, after you get done playing, you want to make them the best catcher they can be. And I think that's such a fun, unique challenge within your last year is you really are setting the precedence and the example towards where you want this program to come when you do step in becoming an alumni, which sounds crazy. You have like 60 softball games before then. You don't have to worry about that. But as you're having conversations with these freshmen, what is kind of the way both of you want to lead, for example, to help Illinois softball reach even new heights? You can go ahead with this one, Paige.
Yeah, I think it starts with just being open and honest. I'm a very honest person. Everybody will say that about me. And I just think being honest about how, like, have a question, ask questions. Lauren likes to ask questions. I think not being afraid to ask those types of questions because that's how you start to succeed. That's how you learn. And we're just trying as seniors and as upperclassmen on the team, just make it a welcoming environment for those questions and a safe space for these newbies and even returners to ask questions. I mean, we're still learning some stuff as we go, and we're 4 years into it. But we've seen how people before us have done it, and we just want to keep that legacy going. But I'm always open and honest, and I think that's the best policy.
I think with the pitchers, it's different for everyone because, not everyone's like a new freshman coming in. But as far as the freshmen go, me and Danica have had some heart to heart conversations. And, when I was young, I had Sydney Sickles to look up to. And so now I'm kind of getting to be that person in a way, which is kind of crazy. I'm like, oh my God, like she's asking me this like really important question right now, Paige, about just being open and honest. And I think, for the young ones on the team is telling them, make sure they're like, they don't have to compare themselves to you. Everyone's journey is going to be different. Your journey does not have to look like mine. It's probably not going to. Like, no two of us are going to be the same. And I think, there's going to be ups and downs in college softball, and just take one day at a time. And it's everything perfect, but, this is a great opportunity. This is one opportunity to compete at the best, highest level that you can. And I think I try to tell, the fresh pitchers a lot that is someone that if you believe in yourself, she will believe in you. So, if you just continue to work hard, put one foot in front of the other, and believe in yourself, definitely always be there to help you and support you. They're not looking for you to go out there and be perfect and just like everyone else. So I think that that's a conversation that I try to have with them is, don't put more pressure on yourself than just you're young, enjoy this and take it a day at a time.
Yeah, so beautifully said. And so often, the only person you need to believe in yourself is yourself. Excuse me. And I'm glad you touched upon the journey because I think that's the exciting part of where you guys are when it's those few days away before the first game and knowing that you guys and your team are in full control of writing your own story this season. When you look ahead, even at opening weekend, the opportunities that lie ahead of you in facing a top ranked Georgia, a very well coached UCF, and other top notch programs, what's been the message in terms of how you want to start this season and what you would love to just see, even internally amongst each other as a team? Starting with you, Paige.
Yeah, we want to do whatever it takes. I mean, whoever, if we need to have people bunt or someone needs to hit a home run or double off the wall, we're doing whatever it takes. And we are going to be aggressive while doing it. Like you said it, Sydney, we get to write our own path this year, especially with a ton of new people. And I think we're all excited for that fresh start and kind of just showing like this is Illinois softball and this is what we're about. And we have some top ranked teams and we're really excited for it. I think we're even going to Arkansas. We have a lot down the road, but we're coming at it with one game at a time because, one pitch at a time. That's how we take it. And we're excited just to get started and the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that, Paige. I think it's always good to just have that first opening weekend. I mean, everyone's excited field, and it kind of just shows you what you're made of. Like you've put in all this, like for not for the freshmen, I guess they have travel ball, but like for us returners, it's been months since we played like a game all together. And I think just us getting to come together as one, we've been playing each other for the past how many ever weeks, but us coming together as one and truly, seeing it and seeing what we're made of and what we look like when we all have each other. Like Paige mentioned, we want people who can come in if they need to. And I think that's something that this team has a strength is that we have a lot of talent in different ways and needs to be done. Like we have someone that we can call upon and have confidence in that for this team. So I'm super excited to just see all the pieces come together and we're going against someone else. So I'm really excited and I think the team is too.
Well, you ladies have me excited to watch you guys and the rest of the team. And we're only a few days away. And I can't thank you, Paige and Lauren, for everything you've done these last 2 seasons for the Big Ten Conference, but also coming on here today and talking with me.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Sydney.
Good luck this season.
Awesome.
You're so welcome. Good luck this season to both of you ladies. And as we say goodbye to you, we are going to bring on your very own head coach, Miss Tyra Perry. Thank you for joining us. And goodbye, Paige and Lauren. Coach, how are you doing? Days away before season. I know this is a busy time for you.
I'm doing great. Really excited about the season starting. It seems like it got here so fast.
I know it always does. It's like all of a sudden Christmas hits and you know you have like a good month of practice and then next thing you know you're in February. It's wild.
It's wild. And I feel like, I've been doing this for a long time, but I feel like this was just even faster.
This has had to been a really fun off season for you this fall. You bring in 10 first years, 3 newcomers. What has it been like for you as a head coach to, I'm sure, get back to a little bit of development ways, just kind of really being able to put a stamp on so many new faces?
It's been fun. That's the only way that I can describe it. The freshmen that we have are so energetic, and I heard Lauren mention Megan Nectarline, one of our transfers. I mean, she is always laughing, and if she's not, then I'm gonna just, cancel practice and tell everybody to go home and lock the doors, so because something's wrong with the world. But we just have a great group. They sing together. They're always, dancing and they're a lot of fun.
Can you talk about some of these new faces coming in that people can expect to make an impact right away? I know there's been talks about Ava Moore stepping in at shortstop. You mentioned already Megan in terms of another new face. Who are people that people should really look forward to coming already opening weekend?
Well, we have quite the crew, and the names that, Ava Moore is definitely the first name to kind of mention there. She is an incoming freshman. She, played with Dickel's Iowa Premier and just, played at a high level of travel ball. But the thing that stands out the most about her is that she is just fearless. She has a lot of range. There's no ball coming her way that she doesn't think that, she can get to. So I absolutely personally love that. There's no like invisible brick walls or anything there. She just pushes her limit, every day. And just super respectful kid, just great, respects the game. And I'm hoping for great things for Ava. And then we have a junior college transfer, Carly Yergler. I hadn't had a pitcher that hits in a long time, so I'm super excited to have her with us. And she was very successful at Parkland Junior College, and she is she's from the Champaign Urbana area, and so just a hometown hero type kid. So we absolutely love her, and we're so happy to have her. And she just brings that winning attitude, hard worker, is soaking up everything that Coach Trout is teaching her on the offensive side while, working her tail off in the bullpen with Coach V. So, I think she's going to be one to watch this year as well. Um, we also, like I mentioned, Megan Nectarline, she's a transfer from Kent State. She's originally from Michigan, the state of Michigan, and was a great high school player there. But just a fun, exciting kid. But she can bring it. She's got a lot of upside. And we're gonna start in one place, and I think and finish in a totally different place because once these kids, I think, gel and gain some experience, it'll be good.
And usually with adding so many new players, you have the physical component, obviously, that you're touching on where so many are so talented. But it takes so much work off the field to really build a team around new players. And it was so fun for me to hear Paige and Lauren talking about kind of the courage jump that you had your players do. I want to know how you came up with the idea. What went into that decision? Because it sounded so incredibly impactful.
Well, we've done it every 4 years, or so, and it tells us everything that we need to know. And it's basically you're climbing up a pole, they're fully geared up, of course, with helmets and with safety gear, and they're given a safety tutorial on it. But we divided them into teams. We made it into a competition, and you have those that are like, again, like, I want to do it again. And then you have those that are like, oh no, I'd rather do anything but this. And and so it was very encouraging to see, the team bond in that moment, especially because we had 13 newcomers, into that space. And, it was great to see them just kind of support each other, cheer each other on, and, and come face to face. So for some players, they had to come face to face with their fears. And, we laugh a little bit because it's like sometimes we play paintball and then sometimes we jump off the curge pole. So it's like it's two extremes of what we're doing. And this group, they got the curge pole, they didn't get the paintball, but paintball probably come for them next year.
My favorite part is they have to share what they want to be courageous with before they jump. How much did you feel like just that alone, the one sentence people would say, taught you so much about the woman you were coaching?
It's beautiful. Like, there's nothing else to really say about it. And we all have the coaches. We have posters in our offices, and there's one in our locker room from the original group that did the first Courage Pole jump. And we, for whatever reason, had the foresight to take the pictures and to write down and record what they wanted to be courageous about, and we turned it into a poster. And I think on that team there may have been maybe 24 players, but there's only maybe 12 or so statements because we're so much alike. There's several people who had the same, sentiment. So I think there was a bonding even in that
Yeah.
way. That all of us are going through something, but some of us are going through some of the same things, and we can support each other and help each other find success.
And for you, I mean, you've been in the Big Ten now. You're heading into your 10th year. You know how to find success. And as you're developing these women, you're getting ready to open up an incredibly awesome opportunity, I would say, facing Georgia, facing UCF, being able to play great competition out of the gate. What do you feel like it's going to need to take from this group to see the type of success that it takes to succeed across the country, but also going into Big Ten play following?
Systematic softball. We have to play as a system, as a unit. Assignment softball, like do your
Mm.
job. It doesn't have to be flashy or spectacular. We talk about TCB, taking care of blue, or taking care of orange and blue. You can add the O in there if you want to, but we are talking about that. Just doing your job, making sure that you are taking care of just the main thing, which is playing softball, which you've been doing your whole life. And the part where we are deep in each position, which we did not experience that in any form last year. We were so thin. I think it's going to help. And that's kind of where we were in the past. We had 2 to 3 deep in each position, whereas in practice settings where they're competitive, if you're the lead dog, you're the starter, and you have to stay on task because there's somebody nipping at your heels. And I think just that whole competitive environment, having that back has been super helpful, and hopefully will help us come off, to a great start over at
Yeah.
UCF.
Throwing and catching. Sometimes we make it sound so difficult. And at the roots, if you can do those two things well, the game, it becomes so much easier. It's amazing.
It's a complex game, but it has a lot of simple components.
Absolutely. And as we're here for Big Ten Media Days, we have all 17 teams coming over the next 4 days, which I think is incredible. You look at the way our conference is growing. We have West Coast audience, East Coast audience, obviously Midwest. What has that been like for you as a coach, seeing this conference really grow and also preparing your team to head on the road and play at Oregon this season?
I'm not gonna lie, getting to Oregon is tough, but I'm excited. I've never been there. The team is excited, so it's gonna be a great trip. And we've actually picked up to play a third game against them, like a non-conference, game, and then we'll count the other two in the standings. But I think it's great. Year after year, I played in the SEC at LSU, so I know about the SEC. But year after year, you watch, every team, in the SEC, get a nod when it comes to seedings and all those things at the end for the tournament. And so I think adding the UCLA's of the world and Washington, Oregon is just nothing but a plus for us. Gives us an opportunity to roll a little bit deeper in regards to RPI, KPI, and those things. And I just think it's going to make us better.
I couldn't agree more. I think building the buzz right now is exciting, but it's going to be even more fun come March, April, May, being able to watch all of the teams compete. Well, Coach, I know you're a busy woman, but I appreciate very much you hopping on, allowing us to have two of your players, and best of luck this season. We're all super excited to watch.
Thank you for doing this and allowing us to have this platform. I really appreciate it. And once I finally figured out how to get on, I thoroughly, this is a great experience. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
I really appreciate that. And head coach for Illinois softball, Tyra Perry. Stay tuned the rest of the day. We have Washington coming up at 12 Central, following by Penn State and Indiana right after that. So a fun full day. Coach.